Hi students, how you doing? So we're going to be talking about day 3 today. We're going to talk about variables, expressions, and the distributive property. So our objective is to be able to use the distributive property to simplify expressions and to be able to combine like terms in an expression. Alright, so let's start off with some vocab, because pretty much every test that you have in this course will have vocabulary as part of the test. So we need to make sure we understand mathematical vocabulary. So the first vocabulary word we're going to talk about is the distributive property. So if we have A times the quantity of B, and they're supposed to be right here in between the B and C, so it should be A times the quantity of B plus or minus C. It's going to be the same thing as AB plus or minus AC, or if you have the quantity of B plus or minus C times A would be the same thing as BA plus or minus CA. Alright, so now if we move on with sorry about that. There we go. So a term is a number, a variable, or the product of a number and one or more variables. So 6 would just be a number, it would be a constant, so 6 would be a term. X by itself would be a term. The product of 7x would be a term, and the product of 3xy would be a term. A constant is a term that has no variable, so basically a number by itself. The coefficient is the number in front of the variable, so it's the numerical factor of a term. And like terms are terms that have the same variable factors, so 3a and 8a would be like terms. 4xy and 9xy would be like terms, but 3a and 4xy would not be like terms because they do not have the same letters, the same variable factors. So we take a look at this chart here, and we'll go and fill this in. So we've got 4d minus 2d, so the variable factors here would be d. Are these like terms? Yes. The variable factors would be x squared, and they're both x squared, so yes, they're like terms. We have mn for this variable factor, just m over here. So these are not like terms because the first one, 5mn, has an mn. The second one does not have the factor n with it. And then for the last one, we've got x squared y, and then we have x y squared. Again, these are not like terms because they're not the exact same. Okay, so let's simplify. So we have 5 times the quantity of x plus 7, so we're going to distribute. So this would be 5x plus 5 times 7, which would give you 35. Alright, again we're going to distribute. So we'd have negative 2 times 3b, which would be negative 6b. Negative 2 times negative 7 gives you a positive 14. Okay, there's technically a negative 1 for the coefficient, so we have to distribute the negative 1 out. So this would give you a negative 4y, and then a negative 1 times a negative 5 is going to give you a positive 5. Again, we're going to distribute the negative 1 out. So that's going to change that to a positive 21 plus 5m. Now we're going to write this in standard form, so this would be 5m plus 21. The constant always wants to come last. Okay, so we're going to combine our like terms. So we have a 3x and a negative 5x would give you negative 2x, and then a positive 8 and a positive 6 is going to give you positive 14. Alright, we've got a 16x squared minus 1x squared would give you 15x squared. 8x minus 4x would give you a positive 4x, and then a constant of 7 and a constant of 2 would give you the positive 9. Alright, so we're going to distribute the 4 first. So that's going to give you a 4x minus 32 plus 9x plus 5. So now all we have to do is combine our like terms. So the 4x plus 9x gives you 15x, negative 32 plus 5 gives you negative 27. Again, we have to distribute the negative. Now this 5 is by itself, so this 5 is a constant, and remember I told you this is technically a negative 1. So this is negative 1 times 2x, which would give you a negative 2x. That'd give you a negative 5, and then we have our positive 3x at the end. Now we combine our like terms. So a negative 2x plus 3x gives you 1x. 5 minus 5 is 0, so my answer is just 1x. All right, now here, we could technically split this up. This would be 7x over 5. Oh, that's a pretty bad 5. Let me try and make that a little better. Plus 2 over 5. But nothing can be reduced. So this is as far as we could go. So you could either leave it like this, or since nothing reduced, we could leave it like this. Now in this next one, when we split this up, we're going to have 4 over 8 minus 2z over 8. So 4 over 8 reduces to 1/2, minus 2z over 8 reduces to 1z over 4. So remember, we want to write this in standard form, so this would be negative z over 4 plus 1/2. All right, so we want to go ahead and find the perimeter. So remember, the perimeter is the distance around a polygon. So we're going to add up the 5x minus 6, the 2x plus 3, and the negative 3x. So I would have 5x plus 2x minus 3x, and then a negative 6 plus 3 plus 7. So 5x plus 2x gives you 7x, minus 3x gives you 4x. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. Negative 3 plus 7 gives you positive 4. All right, again, we want to find the perimeter here. So I'm going to use the formula 2 times the w plus 2 times the L. So this would be 2 times 4x plus 10 plus 2 times 3x plus 8. Why does this work out? Well, if this is a 4x plus 10 over here, that means this side's the same. So this is also a 4x plus 10. Sorry, my pen's going out on me here. There we go. Same thing down here. If this is a 3x plus 8, down here is also the 3x plus 8. So we'll distribute. So that gives you 8x plus 20. Same thing. 6x plus 18. Combine your like terms, so that gives you 14x plus 38. All right, so you're going to try these on your own here, and then you're going to check your work. We go to distribute, so that's going to give you 6x plus 8. It's going to give you 25q minus 10. Negative 9b plus 7. Positive 45 plus 6g, which would be 6g plus 45. So you've got a negative 2h minus 7h gives you negative 9h. 3k plus 4k gives you 7k, and then you got your lonely constant 7. So you've got 6a squared minus a squared gives you 5a squared. 8ab plus 1ab gives you 9ab plus 7a plus 2. All right, when you split them up, nothing can be reduced, so you can just leave it like this, or if you split them up, this would be fine as well. And then finally, split them up, we got 6 over 9 minus 3p over 9, so 6 over 9 reduces to 2/3 minus p over 3. So now since we do have a common denominator, you could write this as 2 minus p over 3. So either one would be fine there. All right, that's it for today.